Starting now.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis for the Nick of Time show. Here, give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And you know what time it is? It's time for the gunshots, ladies and gentlemen, because the Knicks beat the Spurs 96 to 111, and we are here to talk about it. All right. First and foremost, we got to talk about these stats. And when we're talking about the stats, you can't talk about the stats without talking about the Bodman himself, Bodman Barrett, giving you 31 points on the night with 4 assists and 3 rebounds. Gunshots for the Bodman himself. Also, we got to talk about the monster game from Mitchell Robinson, who gives you 13 points, 4 blocks, 1 steal, and 11 rebounds. Gunshots for your man Mitchell Robinson. Emmanuel Quickley chips in with 12 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and a block. And gunshots with Emmanuel Quickley, who's been in a lot of heat discussions lately about whether or not he's a point guard. But I digress, and we'll get into that later. And also, you gotta big it up to the man returning with the contused thigh, bruised thigh, whatever that man has. Evan Fournier returning to action with 18 points in just 21 minutes, giving you 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Gunshots for that Fournier. And we're gonna break this game down. But before we break this down, you already know what it is, man. I'm gonna introduce my man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. Good win for the Knicks tonight. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Let's get to it. All right. First and foremost, man. When the Bodman sees the Celtics, he sees red. I'm sorry. When his Bodman sees the Spurs, he sees red. I'm sorry. When Evan sees the Celtics, Evan might be seeing green, but he actually sees red. When Bodman sees the Spurs, he sees red. He had a career high versus the Spurs before. Today, he gives you 31 points on the night. Man, what did you see from RJ Barrett tonight? I feel like he gave it everything he had. And excuse me, because it seems like the stats are a little bit off. Sorry. But what did RJ Garrett give to you tonight?
Bodman Barrett, when Bodman Barrett is at his best, he plays inside out per se. Like, he's at every level when on the offensive end. Mm-hmm. You know, he drives to the basket, he finishes at the basket, he shoots the 3 well. And then on top of that, he gets his mid-range going and things of that nature. And I just felt like RJ Barrett just put it upon himself to be aggressive, drive to the basket hard, finish at the rim. He also made a few plays as he was driving to the rim as well. And overall, Barrett just had a overall good, aggressive offensive game. And when Barrett plays like this, it bodes well for the Knicks. Like Mitchell Robinson said in his post-game conference not too long ago, he said he loves when RJ Barrett plays like this because when he plays like this, it takes pressure off of him. So, and I feel like that's how it is for the rest of the Knicks roster as well. Because when RJ Barrett plays like this, he's a problem. And with him driving to the rim and with him, improving his ability to finish at the rim and drawing in the defense, it also creates lanes as well, for Mitchell Robinson. He can dish off Mitchell Robinson. Yep. Mitchell Robinson gets the easy dunk, or he can pass out to the 3 and hit Grimes or somebody out like that open for 3 as well. So, yeah, Bodman Barrett basically had an overall game offensively.
Yeah, and this is the thing: a night where Julius Randle only scores 2 points. It's imperative that somebody else steps up for the night. We got guys like Kevin Walker here, like Evan Fournier here, to take some of that scoring load off of Julius Randle. And tonight was Barrett's night, and he did what he had to do. And like you mentioned earlier, when he's able to score on all 3 levels, you're in trouble. Because it seems like this season he's either hitting the 3 and I can't make a layup. I can make a layup, but I can't hit the 3. Even last year it was like, oh, I can hit the mid-range shot, but that's all I can do. Today he mixed it up perfectly well. I feel like he picked his spots. He didn't just, I'm going to go to the hole and that's about it. And I think he's a lot of big reasons why we won this game. The Knicks were kind of fighting from behind in the second quarter, and there was like a 2 or 3 minute stint in that second quarter where Barrett actually put the team on his back, and he hits a three, and he goes to the hole, and he's scoring at will, and the guard is on his side, and everybody's like looking at this guy like this is the guy who I thought should have the keys earlier, and now he's showing me that again. And if you're looking how he's been playing recently, he's been playing well for the most part, with the exception of a few games. And I think even I think even the shooting is starting to come back, because the 3-point shooting is something that I was kind of scared of today. He goes 3 or 4 from 3. And it's the touch is going back. You can even see the way he's shooting his free throws. The way he's shooting his free throws, you can tell that mid-range game is starting to drop as well. And kudos to the coach for recognizing that Barrett had it going, because when the third quarter started, the coach went to him to make plays and finish at the rim and carry the team on his back, and he delivered this time. And I hope he can start to build on this and get some consistency, man, because we really need to start to get some consistency and be like, all right, from Barrett, I'm going to get this, and this. From Evan Fournier, I'm going to get this, and this. Especially on nights like this when Randle's not giving you anything offensively, but and Randle's just giving you rebounds. You want to be able to count on other people to kind of carry the torch and, get these wins together, string some wins together. Mm-hmm. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. So salute to salute to the chat, man. Shout out to everybody who's rocking the KOT show. Shout out to Chris S, J.R. Acosta, Politically Not Correct, Chuck Norris, Press the Boss, and everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. We are celebrating a win. Man, the Knicks are one game under 500, 10 of 11 from at home. And we're stringing along some wins, man. And we need to do it right now because it's almost a trade deadline, right? And we got big, important decisions to make. And depending on how we play until February, these little games and who performs well and who doesn't can really affect who's going to be around when the trade deadline is over. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And the crazy thing about it too is that the Knicks 20-21 record is the same as last season at this point. So that's even what's funnier about the record. So I'm thinking, is this the time when the Knicks finally explode?
Maybe.
And go like a 10-11 game winning streak and and create some separation.
Yo, I hope so. Because it is very needed at this part. With all these new parts, you would hope that we get some cohesion at some point. But which brings me to Evan Fournier, man. Evan Fournier, he has a game off. We kind of missed him against the Celtics. We wish he was around for the Celtics. He finally makes it back, and he scores 18 points. 41% from the field, but 57% from 3, 4, 7, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. I even saw him playing some defense, Ryan. Something that I really used to seeing him playing. Like, I saw him in the first quarter get into passing lanes, and he looked comfortable. He looked like, you know what? I'm running to my spots. I'm shooting with confidence. I'm not head faking anything to death. I'm going to the floor where I need to. And for the first time when I'm looking at the game, it seems like Evan Fournier and RJ Barrett are having a good game at the same time. So is this I'm like, in my mind, what do you think? Because when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking maybe he's starting to turn a corner offensively. Maybe this is something we can do. Maybe the Celtics game jogs something in his brain where he's like, all right, maybe I'll get my shots here. Is this wishful thinking for me? Am I crazy, guys, or am I just being like too much of like a hopeful?
I think at the moment it's wishful thinking because I feel like with Fournier we have to at least see a few more games in a row before we can finally be like, yeah, he's finally getting it and knowing his role within the Knicks offense and or whatever the case may be. But overall, I believe Fournier did have a good game today. He definitely seemed active, and this is the thing with Fournier because I feel like when Fournier is engaged, when he's actually getting his looks on offense, he's actually scoring the ball. I do feel like that helps him on defense as well to be more engaged. And the fact that he was actually getting the ball, because I think on a few of his shots, like a couple of his 3-pointers, teammates actually found him wide open.
Right.
For the 3, and he was able to knock those down, and then maybe a couple of the 3s he got it off a movement. And I feel like this is one thing the Knicks have to try to do is to get Fournier involved, because if you want to get the best out of Fournier, especially on both sides of the ball, you have to get him involved on offense. And I think the Knicks did a pretty good job of that today. And as you can see, when Fournier can give you 18 points, it's going to bode well for the Knicks, especially with the way RJ Barrett played today as well.
It's funny. Like, I feel like there might be a correlation because there's only one basketball, right? Yeah. I've always felt like Fournier and RJ can't play together because I feel like either one or the other of them will be shooting the ball at a higher rate. Today, Randle takes 7 shots, right? So we have your starting you're starting you're starting 5, and the guy usually takes the most shots, takes 7 shots. That leaves rooms for your wings to really eat, and this might be why today we actually saw RJ and Fournier have a good game at the same damn time. I'm not sure if that's going to be the norm when it comes to Evan Fournier and when it comes to Julius Randle. But I mean, you know what? Yeah, you gotta give it up to Julius Randle. He didn't press. He wasn't shooting well. And he was willing to give the ball up. He was willing to give the ball up, and he did. And I'm not gonna lie, at some points, Randle did look a little bit disengaged to me. How did he look to you, to you, Ryan? To me, he did look disengaged, but he got rebounds today.
Yeah, that's a positive about Julius Randle. He definitely crashed the boards and. Which is definitely a positive. Yeah, he did seem disengaged at times. I think it's funny because it's the same thing that I think Wally Zerbiak pointed out the other day with Randle and setting screens. It seems like when Randle tries to set screens, he doesn't really set them. You know what I mean? Like he kind of gives like a lackadaisical effort when it comes to setting screens and things of that nature. And when he's not really engaged, on the offensive end, I feel like it kind of takes away from him a bit, as to having a role. Mm-hmm. Like Randle's not one of those players where, okay, if he's not scoring, he finds like another way to be engaged. Randle's one of those players where it's like, if he's not scoring the ball, like that's the only way he's going to be engaged if he scores the ball. So, yeah, he did seem disengaged at times, but like I said, he crashed the boards. On defense, I feel like the effort was there more often than not.
Okay.
I didn't feel like he showed a whole lot of lackadaisical effort on defense. I feel like it was there more often than not. But yeah, he did seem disengaged at times, but it wasn't as terrible as other games I've seen. So I'm gonna give Randle a little of a pass, in this game because I didn't feel like he was like just zoned out throughout the whole game.
Interestingly enough, the subtext, right? The story under the story today was, are people going to boo Julius Randle at the start? And I feel like MSG was kind of trying to hide the fact that people were booing him because, let me know, did I miss something, guys? Because when I turned on the TV at MSG, I didn't see like the starting 5 announcement. Did you guys see it? Because I didn't see it.
Well, they did say on the broadcast that there was a sprinkle of boos. It wasn't all cheers. There was a sprinkle of boos.
But you see how they switched the story, Ryan? Because first they said at the start, the crowd cheered for Randle. Oh, they cheered for him. And then like after later on, like the third quarter, they spilled the beans. It's like, well, there was a sprinkle. And I feel like some of MSG's faithful is really on him because we were up 20, and Randle turned the ball over, and all you heard was boo. I'm like, yo, okay.
Yo, to be honest about it, though, at the end of the first half, when Randle took the step back three and he missed, I did hear some boos from the crowd, though.
I
did hear some boos.
That's what I'm saying. And not everybody is on the boo bird train for Randle, but I think the thumbs down definitely, rubbed somebody the wrong way. Personally, I think he should have kept that information to himself when he asked by the media what the thumbs down meant. That probably wasn't the smartest thing. You could just next question or something. But it is what it is right now. We got the win. Randle was unselfish. He got the 12 rebounds. He got the rebounds. How many rebounds did he get on the night?
Yeah, he got 12, I believe.
12 rebounds and 3 assists, and 3 turnovers on the night from Julius Randle. Yeah, man. I gotta give props to my man Mitchell Robinson. Because Mitchell Robinson came in here. A lot of times when we was behind, it was Mitchell Robinson's offensive rebounds that really kept us in the game a lot of the time. I think at halftime, Mitchell Robinson had 4 offensive rebounds. Finished the game with 11 rebounds altogether, 13 points, and very active on the boards today.
Yeah, Mitch definitely he definitely had a good game tonight. Protected the paint with the 4 blocks. He was very active on the boards. It contributed 13 points. So overall, Mitch had a pretty solid game. I was pretty proud of his performance tonight.
Absolutely. Drip Moore says he wants the gunshots for the bod man. The gunshots is going on for the bod man, all right? Because the Knicks,
yes, sir.
he did what we had to do and beat the lowly Spurs 111-96, led by the man Barrett. He would have had a new career high, but the coach had mercy on the Spurs, left him on the bench for almost the entire fourth quarter. But shout out to everybody, huh?
No, my fault, man. But I don't even think it's mercy, because after Thibs pulled out the starter unit and put in the bench, they was going off too. So I don't even think it's mercy.
He was just
I don't even think it was mercy.
I don't think, man. It was. I think it was a tad bit of mercy. It was a tad bit of mercy.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but it wasn't much mercy though.
Right. But shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the bad man. Shout out to picks for Timmy Drip Moore. Our repping old school Mark W. Everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. And gunshots for the bad man. Scored on all 3 levels and gave you some passing at the end. Really good decisions, man. When he can, I remember doing breakdowns of Barrett last year, talking about his vision and how his vision is growing. And it seems like he's taking a little bit of a step back this year when it comes to his vision, but he has a different role in his team right now. But it was really nice to see him make some really nice dimes to Taj Gibson at the end, to Grimes at the end for 3 the cross-court passes, and lobs to Mitch, man, because he has the passing package if he decides to use it. He just needs to decide to use it a little bit more often than not sometimes.
Most definitely.
All right. But salute to you guys. The phone lines are open. If you want to get in and talk about this game, you already know what the number is, 319-527-6241. And also, too, man, we're going to talk about some news. We're going to talk about some news that's going on in Knicks Nation about some free agents who are available right now, all right? But so before we begin about that, let's talk about another reason why we won this game. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I got the news that Evan Fournier was returning, right, to the starting lineup. And I'm like, all right, cool. Evan is returning. That means we should start Quickley, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, et cetera. But no. Tom Thibodeau goes with Alec Burks to start at point guard once again. And I was just like, man, I was tired of Burks for a minute because I'm just like, man, he just does not seem to work as a starting point guard. But today, Burks gives you 16 points on the night. Shot 50% from the field. It seems like this is the best game he's had as a starter since he's played so far. And hit some crazy difficult shots. Some shots that I thought wasn't even good shots, but he hit them nonetheless. So what do you think about What do you think about this Burks versus Quickley point guard situation and Burks' game today in general, or Quickley's game, mind you?
Well, first and foremost, we all know Thibs is that guy who's always going to go to old reliable.
Old faithful.
So, yeah, old faithful, old reliable. So you already know Burks is going to win that point guard battle, and he's going to get the starting job over Quickley. But yeah, this game was one of the games where Burks, he did not have a bad game of point guard, and he did play pretty well. And I feel like with the Spurs having DeJounte Murray, who's a big point guard,
Yeah.
I feel like Thibs was always going to go with Burks as a starting point guard to match up with Murray as opposed to Quickley. But
Right.
it's clear as day, because even you could even see it in this game as well. When Quickley is on the court, the offense speeds up,
Mm-hmm.
and the offense runs, in my opinion, more efficiently. There's more ball movement and things of that nature. So when you look at both guys' playing styles, of course, Quickley would be the ideal guy to start at a point guard. You know, but I feel like Burks plays better off the bench. He's shown that, you know, from his time with the Knicks that he's more effective off the bench. My thing is this though, because when you have point guards that are out, you know, like how the Knicks have no Kemba and no Rose,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, and like and Quickley, for example, just as much as you want Quickley to start, Quickley plays well with that second unit as well.
Yeah.
So that's where the dilemma comes in, and that's where you have to decide where do you want to take Quickley from that second unit and put him in the starting lineup to go with the you know, with the starters, or do you want to keep Quickley with that second unit where the second unit is so effective on both the defense and the offensive side of the ball, and just have Burks, you know, run the point with the first unit? So I feel like that's where the dilemma is, but me personally, I'd still put Quickley at the starting point guard and just have Quickley share time with the first unit and the second unit. You just have to find
Creative ways to sub them out, kind of stagger the
exactly,
minutes type of situation.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, man, you took the words right out of my head, Ryan. Like, it was funny because as soon as I saw Quickley come in for Burks, and, you know, I feel like immediately Randle had more space. Immediately Randle has more space. And it's not even just his shot making, because of course it's Quickley's shot making, but it's little things. It's like how hard Quickley runs around screens and his constant motion. I kind of feel like frees up Randle. Like just his movement. Period. Because as soon as he gets in the game, I like he gets the ball, he darts to the paint, and then all of a sudden there's like there's that word that people like to use, gravity. All of the Spurs just kind of pull right into Quickley. And Quickley turns around, passes to Randle. All of a sudden, Randle's looking around. He has 1,600 feet of space all around him, all because of how hard Quickley runs to the paint.
Yeah, then he passes the ball.
Exactly. and then Randle passes the ball. I mean, but you get the point. You get the point. You get what I mean. It's like he doesn't even have to shoot to cause the effect on the team. It's just the way he's running so hard in half court sets, in fast break sets, and just even the way it also seems like his vision has gotten better, where he gets Obies on a lob. I mean, and he's not perfect, but it just seems like things just happen more. But like you said, like the last game, Ryan, we lost the bench battle. I think we lost the bench battle. Like we only had 3 points last time. So Evan coming back and quickly coming on the bench kind of helps us win that bench battle. And I also feel like, you know, the bench is kind of what helped us kind of get multiple stops when it came to that third, fourth quarter. You know, when we started putting certain things together, because we could not stop DeJounte Murray to save our lives. At one point, he was shooting 70% from the field. But when it was bench versus bench, I feel like we started to kind of chip away at the lead. And I think we got one on a 10-0-1 at one point. And I think it had a lot to do with the second unit defense and our bench being able to match other benches. And Emmanuel Quickley, who's able, even though people were arguing whether he's a pure point guard or not, it don't matter. He's an effective guard that is making plays. Has 6 assists on a night. He could have easily probably had 10 if some certain people hit, layups and dunks and things of that nature. Oh yeah. And hold on. Okay. But you know what? Gunshots to everybody rocking with the show. Listen, man, if you would like to, I know we got some callers. Okay, so we got 3 callers up. First caller's up, man. Let us know, man, what your name is and where you're from and what do you want to talk about?
What's going on, JL? If you can hear me loud and clear?
Perfect.
All right, I'll make sure I pay my phone service this evening. How's everything? Let's go, baby.
Let's go. We got that win, baby. That's it.
Ain't nothing but these Dubs are trying to see for the rest of the season. I appreciate all the work that you've been doing. I've been following you for years, ever since you transferred over from Knicks Fan TV. Everybody over there in the family still appreciate and love you, bro. But I appreciate the endeavor with you actually going out solo, doing your own thing. This is a huge accomplishment. I support you to the fullest, and I appreciate everything that you do for the Knicks organization.
Yeah,
it's much appreciated.
Yo, I appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. Yo, the funny thing is, people don't realize, but I had KOT show was a lot before Knicks Fan TV. Like we just had once a week podcast, and I was trying to expand, but we here right now. I definitely thank you for your support, man, and thank you for calling in and giving us some love. Support you for real.
Definitely. If I could just give 1 or 2 pointers real quick on the game.
Go ahead.
Synopsis-wise, I appreciate the effectiveness y'all giving as far as Emmanuel Quickley's result. What my situation is, I believe they should keep Alec Burke on the bench because we need more firepower as far as scoring. We can't be that one-sided to really take all of our solid scorers, try to formulate a starting 5 that's going to be admirable, but then we got a weak bench looking like the rest of the league. The bench is what's been saving us majority of the year, so don't mess up a good thing while we got it. I understand there's still some pieces missing. I'm really worried about Nerlens Noel because either his leg or his health is really putting this team in jeopardy long term, bro. I don't know what's going on. I know Sims just came back from protocol.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting bodies slowly but surely. Deuce McBride came back. I don't know. I'm leaving that in Tibbs' hands, but mainly I just want a healthy team. Dependability is always the best available. Yeah, I appreciate your call. Thank you, and I appreciate the platform.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.
All right, good night. Good night. Shout out to my guy, man. Thanks for calling in. All right. Yo, the one thing I will say, though, is the Emmanuel Quickley Obi Toppin connection is like a sacred connection. That is like a sacred blood brother bond that, like, I want to keep together as long as possible. If I'm looking at trade rumors, I'm looking at the way Obi's looking. I'm not sure how long we can do it because even today, I don't even know if you caught Obi's facial expression. Like even when Obi was catching little lobs and he was winning, maybe I'm reading too much into it.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't look as jovial as he usually does. Is it me? I don't know if you caught that. Or you know what? Let me know in the chat if you caught that or not.
No, you're definitely not the only one who caught it because I was checking on Nick's Twitter and a lot of people definitely commented on Obi's facial expression when Thibs took him out the game, which seemed to be a quick hook. And it's one of those things where it's like Thibs, he just has all of his trust in Randle, and because he wants to play Randle so many minutes, it's just a hard space for Obi to be in at the moment. Because it doesn't seem like Thibs wants to be flexible enough to be like, okay, let me play Randle at least like 25 to 30 minutes a game and then give Obi the rest of those minutes. It seems like Thibs and his starters, Thibs loves playing his starters 35 minutes, 36 minutes, 37 minutes. And with Randle and the way he played last season, I think it just carries over to this season, and Thibs knows what Randle is capable of, and he just doesn't want to take him out of the game, knowing what Randle has done for the team last season. That's what I believe, and
yeah,
it's just tough for Obi right now, and yeah, that's about it. Like it's just tough.
It's super tough, man. It's super tough. Like I don't know how long this is gonna last, but he definitely looked like somebody took his cookies today. I'm not even gonna lie, and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, because behind the scenes, it's like it's trade season. So you don't know what agents are telling them. You don't know what what calls they're getting, you're fielding, what information is being fed to them. Like these are gonna be a lot of these rookies and first time going through rumors. So who knows if that's happening? Who knows is him not getting minutes? It could be a plethora of things. But I would keep an eye on that situation moving forward, for real.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a harsh truth, but the only way I see Obi getting substantial minutes is if Randle is gone. That's the only way I see it.
Yeah, and when I was on Knicks Fan TV, I think I might have been the first one to say it on Knicks Fan TV. Actually, I was like, it seems like he's gonna be happy moved at a certain point. I actually said it here on TOT show, but and I think people are starting to really see what I'm talking about. And who knows what's gonna happen in the future? But I hope the best, man. I really hope for the grass. But let's get to a next caller up. Let us know what your name is, where you're from, and what do you want to talk about, sir? Yeah. Need that year. Right up the move. What up?
Yes, sir. Gunshots.
Yeah, gunshots. Energy. You right. Let's bring it back. We won this game today, damn
it. Definite. But I would definitely say that you ain't bugging about the OB's energy. Obi just looks over it. He looks tired of it.
Yeah.
So I agree. I was looking at that, like you said, trade season in talk. It's like Obi just looks, because he looks like Tibbs isn't even trying to work with him. You know, like Tibbs, like we said, when he played Obi all those minutes, it looked like it was spiteful minutes. Like, all right, they want you so bad, go out there and play.
Yeah.
Like, play the preseason, the pregame, the after game. Like, you ain't sitting down for nothing since the fans want you so bad. Not like, I got this trust you, I'm going to give you the ball. And even that shady comment he put, he said at the post game, like, oh, everybody wants a backup quarterback. I was like, come on, man, this dude is in year 2 of his career. You don't cut his legs under him like that.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised, because I'm not gonna lie. If I was in Obi's camp, if I was his homeboy, I'd be that dude from Ballers. Like, look, you need to lead this team. You need to go somewhere. So he's
facts.
Like, they're not appreciating you.
Yeah.
Facts.
You don't see the way the fans love you. Like, seriously, he's hearing it. He's hearing it. Come on, man. He's from Brooklyn. He's hearing it.
Yeah, you know it, man.
Like,
This is what we do.
There's a bunch of Tibbs. There's a boo. Like, come on. We know he's So he's over it. Especially Tibbs. Tibbs does show that too. He doesn't even give him nothing. It's like he will live and die with Randle instead of letting Obi just learn the game. And Obi isn't gonna learn the game with Randle on a 5-year contract. So I want Obi to be a Knick badly. That's the only jersey of this season I got. But for his own career, that guy's gonna go. He's not gonna stay. Like, unless the front office basically make the move, because Randle's my next topic. Randle still seems like he's not all there. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. It's like if he don't want to be. Like I said, maybe he need to go on a sabbatical, something. Just take a couple games off and, woo side. I don't know, man. The guy just don't seem like he's like, he just doesn't seem like it. He doesn't seem like he's all there. It seems like he's still got lots of going on mentally. Like, he's battling with the fans. Just everything. Where it's like I said, give him the Kevin Love treatment. Kevin Love and the Cavs, he signed a $100 million contract. He was parked on the bench. Still.
Yeah.
So it's like, but we know who Tibbs is, and that would be a Dolan, World Wide West, Leon Rose move. Tibbs will never do that. Only way he's doing that is Randle got an injury.
Yeah, exactly.
And you said it best yourself a couple episodes ago, Jay, where he's a ball player. At the end of it, he's gonna want to go out there and hoop. So he's not gonna basically take that. Like, he's not gonna take that initiative. My opinion. I could be wrong. So I agree. I think Obi's days are numbered. Unfortunately, I hate to see it, because I think it would have been Tibbs is too much of a bonehead to see. Like, you can unlock those two, even if, like we say all the time, even if you're playing Randle 27, because I was looking at Randle's career, and even the minutes he was playing when he was in with the Pelicans,
right?
He wasn't even playing that much minutes, but his efficiency was that was one of his most efficient years, even from his time with the Knicks, except for last year where he played 42 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I was hyped to get him. To be honest with you, I saw the efficiency numbers on the Pelicans once AD went down. And I was like, okay, this could be something here,
So, and even with the minutes he was playing, he can easily play those amount of minutes. I think he was playing like 20 minutes a game.
he could play that. Obi could play the other, and
Hold on.
they can figure it out. They can.
Hold on 1 second. Hey guys.
Is it a trade
No,
alert?
it's not a trade. But it's something big still for us. We hit 10K on Instagram.
Oh,
Hit the gunshots. We hit 10K on Instagram. Big news. Thanks, guys, for following us. I'm sorry to interrupt the show. Keep going.
We got to interrupt for that. We got to interrupt for that one.
Oh man.
Definitely. Yeah, but I know you got some callers. I don't want to. I leave me on here. I talk all night, but good game, Evan. This is what we need to see more of. Evan actually is looking like who we signed, who we paying $17 million for. RJ looking the same way. Like we say, it is a long season.
Yep.
But again, Tibbs, like we keep saying, it's scaring us because it's like, yo, you playing these guys 38, 40 minutes, and you're gonna burn them out by the time we make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would much rather efficiency than like we make it to the playoffs and these guys ain't got nothing left. What good is it make it to the playoffs when they ain't got nothing left?
Absolutely.
So that's
True.
So that's kind of the biggest thing that's a concern because it's like, okay, we're down bad on point guards right now. There's no reason why McBride can't eat with Quick. Quick should not be playing 40 minutes because he's gonna be done. Like, you know, so
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so no, I'm saying, so I'm loving what I'm seeing with Grimes. Grimes looking good.
Yeah.
Mitch is looking real good too. He's looking like he's getting back in good shape, which is really good to see.
Yeah.
But even with him, it's like, don't leave him out. Mitch already is injury prone like a mother, so don't leave him out there. You got Jericho Sims now. Let him go in there. So hopefully Tibbs can adjust these lineups and these rotations so that way these guys aren't done come playoff time if we even make the playoffs. I believe it. I say, y'all know me, Mr. Optimistic.
Yeah, man.
I still believe once this team gets its head out its rear end, we good. But hopefully it happens. Hopefully Randle figures it out. Hopefully he goes on that sabbatical he needs because I think he needs to go on one. And he needs to stop going at it with the fans because you're not winning that battle because they obviously getting in your head.
Nah.
Like
You
I said,
not winning that.
I would respect it if he's gonna say I'm gonna let my game shut you up, but it's not happening. You don't got it, Jack. You're not doing it. So
Yeah.
it is what it is, fellas. As always, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, all 82, follow the Instagram, follow the Twitter, follow Sir G, follow Jailers, everything. I'm out. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy JT, man. Hitting that 10K on Instagram. That's, man, you don't understand. Man, I was out the ground for those 10. No followers bought. All organic, damn it.
Exactly. All organic.
No followers bought. All right? Straight people. All right? Could have bought 20 followers. Like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Nah.
Man, but shout out, yo, man. One thing I want to say about Grimes, man. Grimes, me give Grimes some love. I don't give Grimes some love, but also give Grimes some criticism at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because Grimes has he's hitting the three, right? But I feel like he's starting to get in this place where he's head faking a little bit too much. When he first got in to being Grimes, I liked him because he was a gunner. He would go in there, he would just shoot. If he had 3 seconds of space, he's gonna shoot in 0.5 seconds. It didn't matter. Now I feel like he's head faking a little bit too much. Granted, one of the best plays of the day was when he head faked and then dished it to Mitchell Robinson. That was probably one of the best play of the day. Anyway. But I'll allow that one head fake. But there was a play where Julius Randle was on a fast break and he tosses it between the legs to Grimes and Grimes is wide open and he was just like, and then passes it off. I just want to see him get a little bit of that aggressiveness back. You know, am I bugging?
I mean, I don't think you're bugging. Grimes did have a good game today. You know, he hit some threes. I like that play to Mitch Robinson. That was definitely a great play.
Yeah.
And shows that Grimes does have a little playmaking ability to him as well. But, yeah, when Grimes was playing, it didn't matter. That dude just shot it. Like, as soon as he got it, he just caught it and just shot off rip. But
it's up and it's stuck. It's going up.
Yeah. You know what I think it is? I feel like because if you look at some of the greatest shooters in the game, a lot of these great shooters, they have very effective head fakes, and I feel like maybe they're trying to incorporate that into Grimes' game, and then Grimes is trying to utilize it in games to see if he could probably gain that advantage when he shoots the three or to get a wide open look or try to create off, letting the guy go by and driving into the lane.
Right.
And maybe he just hasn't gotten a grasp yet of when to use the head fake and when not to use the head fake. So maybe he's just trying to add that to his game and trying to learn on the fly. When do I use it? When do I not use it?
Right.
Yeah.
Now that makes sense. That makes sense because when you are an adept shooter, that's the next phase of your game. Figure out when to use your head fake and when not to. But I think he just has to get used to getting the ball. And maybe he went through such a long stretch without getting the ball. Maybe he was surprised that Randle even passed it to him. So maybe that's part of it too. But listen, 6 assists on the night for Quentin Grimes. Not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, it helps when RJ Barrett's breaking down the ball. People are collapsing, and now the ball is moving around fluently. But 6 assists for Grimes, gotta love it, man. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Listen, shout out to everybody who's rocking with the show. I see we got Big Reaper on the phone next. Big Reaper, let us know what you want to talk about, and yeah, let's get to it.
Hey, good evening, Jay Ellis. Good evening, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations on 10,000 followers.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm really, happy about that for you guys. Also happy about this game, the Knicks one. So it's, I really enjoyed the fact that, they were running the offense. They weren't running the offense through Julius.
Right.
The whole game. So it's because I just don't know what's going on with him, but he just, I think I'm not going to say what the person said he's playing like, so. But
we can imagine.
I don't know what's going. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. He just doesn't have the head to play in New York. He's kind of like a front runner kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
When everything is going great, he'll do what he has to do when it's going great and he's playing great. When he's struggling, it's like then all of a sudden he's battling with the fans.
Yeah.
And now he does it like today. It felt like he didn't want to play, like he was on strike or something. So
as long as RJ wasn't on strike. Yeah.
Yeah. So RJ played a great game. Mitchell Robinson was pretty active. He's getting back into shape. But hopefully with Mitchell Robinson, I just hope the coach doesn't start running him into the ground, because if you notice, big men like Mitchell Robinson, they normally average like 27 to 30 minutes a game, and so that's something they got to keep an eye on. If you still see Mitchell Robinson 34 minutes a game, then I think that could be an issue. I hope it's not, but today he was at almost 32 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, just kind of something to look at going forward.
Good point.
And Evan Fournier played a great game. Also, Alec Burks played a great game. Quickley, I really liked the way, it wasn't perfect. He still has, in my opinion, a lot to improve, but he did a good job today. I think it's just better because Quickley was running the offense, and obviously RJ Barrett was also running the offense as well. And so everything it's like night and day. Although Absolutely. It's the Spurs, and the Spurs are not a great defensive team, it's it's still night and day, because we were struggling against Oklahoma City, Detroit. We were struggling to move the ball against them, to even score against some of those teams sometimes. So
Absolutely.
It's really good to see them playing much better. Regarding to Obi,
hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Ryan, take over for a second. Something's happening.
All right, cool.
All right, go ahead.
Reaper, keep talking.
Yeah. So regarding Obi, I agree with you guys. There's something going on there. Honestly, I've always been a big fan of Thibodeau, the way he builds up his players in terms of the steps he makes them go through before they actually get burned.
Yeah.
I like that, but I'm really starting to see what some of these other organizations that let him go, probably what some of the fan bases over there were seeing, and why they don't really like him. And honestly, I think it's just a little messed up. Honestly, what he's doing and what the front office is allowing him to do to Obi is like malpractice. I just think it's a little messed up. It's borderline kind of foul, because not even just for Obi himself, but even for the organization itself. It's like the previous caller was saying, if you just let these guys grow, he's like him and RJ is probably the only two people on the team that has like pretty high ceilings, right? But they just got to put in the work, right? They got to work hard and get there. But so you got to work with them. They're working with RJ, but it's like they don't want to work with Obi. And so it's just unfortunate because I think it's not only is it bad for Obi, but it's really bad for the organization because if they end up trading Obi this year or even next year, his trade value is going to be so low. It's going to be much lower than, it should be. Obi is going to go somewhere else. Obi is going to be a very good player if he keeps basically working the same way, if he keeps working hard. And so I just think it's unfortunate what's going on there. But I like, I'm a big fan of Thibodeau, like the way, he coaches and everything, but I'm definitely not liking what I'm seeing, the way he treats, like when you fall out of favor, I just don't like the way he's treating people that falls out of his favor. It's almost like he makes them like his enemy or something. Like it seems like he won't even look their way. He says very little to them or about them, or he'll say slick stuff during post conference, like, when you guys were talking about how he made that backup QB comment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I just think it's crazy. I just think it's like what they're doing is basically malpractice, not just for Obi, but for the organization, because they're going to end up trading this guy and they're not going to get anything for him. And I think he's going to end up being a very good player. And so, but luckily, I mean, it's, like we were saying before, just got to go somewhere else to run the offense. Can't have Julius running the offense because it's just too crazy. How many turnovers did he have today?
3 turnovers.
He had 3 turnovers. Yeah, and it's just like, and he only shot the ball 7 times, and he had 3 turnovers and 3 assists. And the other thing the whole team is doing that I don't like, they're kind of getting it from Julius. They'll drive to the paint instead of going for a layup or like putting something up. They're passing it out. Every time nobody's looking to shoot some. Like a lot of times I feel like they're overpassing. And
Right.
Julius has been doing that forever. And today he just did it all day. He wouldn't even look at the basket when he's in the paint. He'll get in the paint even if he's got a smaller player on him. Instead of shooting the ball, he'll just like pass it out. And it's like, why are you passing it out? So it just doesn't even make any sense. So, I mean, and, hopefully they figure it out. But the thing is, them treating Obi the way they're treating Obi, and then Julius is acting the way he's acting, don't you think it makes sense to actually do right by Obi a little bit? So it's like, it just doesn't make any sense how they're allowing Thibodeau to approach Obi Toppin and his whole, his career. But, that's pretty much what I got. Thank you guys for taking my call. Congrats on that 10K again.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan. I know you was
Reaper had definitely a lot to unlock, and here's the thing with Obi, because it's weird because we know Thibs as a coach that he depends a lot on his veterans, and he doesn't really give young guys leeway like that. Of course, there's some young guys he will give playing time to, like for example, you see with the Knicks too with Quickley, RJ, and guys like this, he will give playing time to, but it looks bad because when the Knicks drafted Obi Toppin, he was the 8th pick in the draft.
Yeah.
He was a lottery pick. The way the Knicks play Obi Toppin, it makes it seem like the Knicks got Obi Toppin in the 2nd round or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like the Knicks got Toppin as a number 8 pick. And I understand that because you have to understand the mindset, I think, going into that draft, because I think we all felt that the reason why Obi Toppin was being drafted was because Randle was on his way out.
Yep.
Based on how we played the previous season. Then all of a sudden Randle has his breakout season. But it's like even though Randle has his breakout season, you drafted a guy number 8 in the lottery. You can't just play this guy 10 minutes a game.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Like what sense does that make? Like you drafted the guy number 8. Like even if Randle is having an all-star year, you have to find playing time for this guy. You drafted him number 8 in the draft. He's a lottery pick.
Yep, yeah. Tibbs has a formula, and he does not stray from the formula. His formula
not
is,
at all.
I want an attack. He usually wants an attack guard. Usually an attack guard or a tall guard, right, to be a point guard. B, he wants a 5 who can block shots. And if you're not a 5 who can block shots, he's not interested in playing. Because you all know that, the solution to that would be me some small ball. Play Obi next to Randle for an extra 5 or 10 minutes to get him to 15 to 20 minutes a game. But with the way Thibodeau's mind is and the way his philosophy is on that side of the ball, he is not going to allow him to do that. And we saw stretches of him doing it this season, but I feel like it's only when his hand is kind of forced with injuries and things of that nature. And I don't know, the way Obi's looking, I don't know if he's gonna make it, man. I don't know. It might be time to make the move, depending on when we get back. I don't want to do it for nothing. I'm not trying to give Obi away for some Scooby snacks. You know what I'm saying? I want something in return. But I already know he's gonna ball if he gets a minute somewhere else. I already know he's gonna ball.
Of course.
I already know it. But next caller up, we got our man Jason from the Lower East Side. What's going on, Jason?
So I think it's funny the conversation we're having. If you've been, because I've been saying the same thing for the last few weeks about Obi and how he's not going to get the playing time with Tibbs.
I've been saying since last year. Last season.
But here's the thing. Last year he wasn't good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
He's actually good.
Yeah, well, yeah, true.
Yeah, he struggled. He struggled last year,
Yeah, he deserved to only play 10 minutes until the end of the season last year.
But here's the other thing too. Okay, well his defense is, I feel like, is the biggest thing that got better, and he can handle the ball a little bit more for sure. But I always felt like
better at everything. Except for 3-point shooting, he got better at everything.
Right, but I feel like last season, I'll continue to say this, we used him completely wrong. We did not use him as a pick and roll guy at all last season. We used him for a combined 3 times all season, and we've eclipsed that this season.
I'm just saying that last year he wasn't good. This year he's good, and the fact that he's still on the same amount of minutes is crazy. But I want to start positive today. 2 things I really like today. Well, one thing I really like. IQ's mid-range. He never took mid-range shots last year.
Nope.
Yeah,
he was always good. Now he's getting good with it. It's really good to see.
That's shots for the mid-range. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Beautiful, man. And then you guys were talking about Grimes, and I think you guys are forgetting that he's a rookie.
Yeah, of course.
You guys, you guys were like, oh, he's hesitant. I'm like, he's a rookie. He's still young. He's still learning how to play the game. He's gonna make mistakes. He's gonna hesitate. He's gonna defer a little.
Mm-hmm.
I think he played good today. I think he just missed a few shots. He should have passed a few. He should have took a few more. But he's a rookie. He's going through rookie struggles. So I think he's doing great.
No, you know what?
I definitely agree. Like I said that maybe he's trying to incorporate something else into his game. And he just hasn't figured out yet, how to utilize the head fake properly. That's what I said. I thought he had a good game tonight. I gave him his props.
Critical of him, but it's okay. All right, let's get to the meat of this discussion.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Right.
Me being critical of a player doesn't mean I'm out on the player. I'm gonna just let that run.
No,
right?
I'm just saying. Okay. I think he played really well, and I think he's making a little bit of rookie mistakes. That's all.
Okay, cool. We still Team Grimes here. I'm just letting you know. All right, continue.
I know you're Team Grimes. I'm just saying. I just think all right, let's move on from that. There's no need to debate about something so little.
All right, cool.
So, you guys know I've been saying we need to trade for Myles Turner. They need to trade Obi as part of that package because that's the best way to optimize Randle and RJ. Because in my mind, there was no way that they're going to handle.
Right.
A lot might have changed tonight. And it's like a huge paradigm shift that might have happened tonight. Tonight was the first time the fans, in a game that we won, booed Randle and cheered Obi. And Randle looked like he was visibly pissed off about it. And Randle played bad. And everybody knows this. This can get really ugly. Because it could all go away if Randle plays well. But if Randle keeps playing bad and the fans completely turn on him, it can get real ugly. And now, if that happens, I actually could see the Knicks trading Randle.
I don't see... If the Knicks trade Randle, I don't see it happening this season.
But what if the fans, this tick for tack keeps happening with him and the fans, where the fans are booing him, chanting for Obi all the time, and Randle's starts yelling at the fans back and forth, but like this can get nasty. I'm not saying it's going to be like a nice divorce this wall ways. No, this can get really ugly.
Right. I don't see it. The only way I see it is if like James Dolan goes, I'm taking over and I don't like it, so trade Randle. That's the only way I see it. I don't see Leon in the Wild West going, you know what, after the season you had last year, we're gonna give you half a season to get together, or we're gonna trade you by deadline. Like I feel like it's gonna have to be something like over the summer or next season deadline, to happen for Randle to be traded. And by that time, I mean, depending on what happens this trade deadline, if like Obi might be gone by then, or Obi might still be here and we luck out, but we'll see what happens. But like I don't think it's gonna be a snap decision thing.
I mean, I used to agree with you, but like I was kind of shocked at how the fans were today. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all think it, and a lot of people say it on Twitter, but for them to actually do it in the arena was kind of crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, you're not gonna boo the fan. You're not gonna put the. Yeah.
Now you go.
Nah, you put your thumbs down at the fans, then you know. You don't know. You can expect something. You can expect some clapback at some point. So I mean,
especially from Knicks fans.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing: that's what shocks me. It's not like the fans were booing him and we were getting blown out.
Right. Nah, I feel you.
Like if we get blown out by the Mavs on Wednesday and Randle plays bad, they're gonna boo, and they're gonna cheer for Frank and Bullock. And you think he's gonna be happy about it?
If they that'll be funny. I mean, that would be funny, but it would be.
Oh man,
that Jerami Grant rumor made no sense to me when I saw it, because even though I actually think it would be it potentially could be a good fit, because I think if you were to go small and play Jerami Grant and Randle together, the thing is I don't think Tibbs will ever do that.
Well, you know what? We can talk about that. We can talk about that next. We'll talk about that next, right?
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
What if I'm not saying this as a straight up trade, but what if this gets out of hand? I could see them trying to get Jerami Grant and trying to trade Randle.
I don't see it. I don't see it that way. The way you're speaking about it, I don't see it that way. And I'll talk to you about that. They're going to pick with me with the fives and the five. He's done with Randle. He's like, 5 call. Get him out of here. All right, picks for Timmy. I get it. You don't like him.
Yeah. All right, fellas. So, yeah, I just, like I said, I'm going to keep watching this. Like I said, if Randle plays better, this will all go away. And then there'll be 100% in on Randle. But if he plays bad, we got a lot of home games coming up, too.
Yeah, we got a lot of home games.
And he's visibly pissed off, and the fans keep going at him, and he goes back, and this can get ugly. That's all I'll say. And and like once they start talking about it on, like, you know, stupid Stephen A. Smith starts talking about it, it only gets worse.
I feel you. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You know what, too?
All right. See you guys.
All right, yo. Thanks for the call, man. Thanks for the call. You know what else, too? I feel like it would have to be, Ryan? I feel like Randle would have to ask.
I feel so as well. I don't think if the fans start booing Randle crazy like that, I can't see Randle being traded ASAP. But I can definitely see something where the season's gonna pass, and maybe Randle's camp is like, you know what? I feel like my time here is done. You know, I want to be moved or something of that nature. But it's really hard to imagine from now till February that even if the fans do boo Randle, they're gonna move him. Like it's the only way that's happening is if it's like a package deal where the Knicks are getting some superstar player in return. That's the only way. Right, because as you can see, I mean, I know people were like, you know, we're way better without Randle. Like there's holes in this team. There's holes in this team without Randle here. And not to say that Randle is a superstar or whatever, but the bare minimum of him having on the floor today is he's able to attract double teams and get rebounds. And and for us to really get where we have to go, he has to step up, because after this little, you know, home stretch, we have the second toughest schedule in the league. Yeah. So he has to play well or we're screwed. Next caller. You know what? I was gonna go talk about the thing, but let's get to the next caller.
Next caller up, we got
Okay.
a Mill.
Hey guys, how you going?
What's going on, Emil, man?
Hey, man.
How to get you in? I know you up late over in Australia.
Well, up early, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, early, late to me. Early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I missed out on the second half today, which was because of work, which was where everything, where we pushed the lead. But I wanted to talk about Randle, because like with the incident where it was the thumbs down and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the only way for Randle to like shut up the fans and stuff like that is to actually shut him up with his play. Like the example that I'm thinking of now is the Ja Morant situation. Like obviously he's not Ja Morant, but once Ja Morant came back from injury, the fans were legit telling him to stay out. Like they don't want him because they're playing better without him, or supposedly.
Yeah, bring him
and then
here.
what does Ja Morant go and do?
Block a
Do I
shot
break
with some crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an alien, man.
Yeah, like
He
he's
balled
back-to-back
out.
player of the week. Like, yeah. Yeah, so he's back-to-back player of the week, and then like that's the only way to shut up the fans. Like you can't just thumbs down and then come the next game you play like garbage, and like I don't know. Today he was all right because he deferred. Today he deferred, which was good.
Mm-hmm.
He let the young players do their thing. When you don't have it, like it's good to let other players shine.
I agree.
But yeah, so I didn't really watch the second half. I can't comment on the full game, but that's my comment on the Randle situation.
Got you. Put up or
Yeah.
shut up. I agree with you.
Yeah.
You gotta agree with you, man. It's all up to
Yeah.
Randall. It's definitely all up to Randall. All right. Yo, salute to you,
But
man.
yeah, it's
Oh, you got
yeah.
more? Go ahead. Yeah, if you got more, go ahead.
yeah, like it's all in his head, Randle, for sure. Like I feel like I don't know if he's not built for New York, like that's, but whatever's in his head, he might need like a sports psychologist or something. I don't know. It doesn't seem to show him any accountability to then help him. I feel like what's worse, him so many minutes. You've got Obi dying to play. Like it's just exacerbating the issue.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it, man.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I feel like Tom has to. I feel like part of that is on Tom, but he also, like you said, he has to get out of his head. Call up Ron Artest or Metal World Peace or whoever you want to call him. Get his sports therapist on the phone and get that man right, because we gonna need that kid. We gonna need him.
Most definitely.
We gonna need him if we want to really string away some wins. We can't survive with him scoring 2 points a game. But thank you, Emil. Thank you for calling in and
Thanks, man.
waking up early to call us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to Emil. And shout out to Civil Analytics, who sends a $10 super chat. Says, great game by RJ, but I'm waiting for consistency. Out of 41 games, RJ shot 45% or better only 11 times. Okay, stats. Okay, stat of the day. I agree with caller. Randle could get traded if fans turn on him. All right. You know what? Anything is possible. I guess my thing is the time. I don't expect it to be within a month. I don't see Randle just going, I'm out of here, or Dolan pulling the plug by the trade deadline. If anything is to happen, I feel like it's gonna be within like next summer or next season. I feel like he's built so much here to try to make the playoffs. And I feel like they're at least gonna give it another push. Bare minimum. I don't expect him to just kind of run in and hide after what he did last season. I just don't see it. I don't expect it.
Yeah, and I'd expect because you have to remember when Julius Randle made those comments about the fans saying that him with the thumbs down, basically telling the fans to shut the F up or whatever the case may be. You have to remember how quick Randall's PR team or whatever went back to him and be like, that was a bad move, because my man came out with an apology ASAP after he came out with those comments. And I would think that somebody would be in his ear telling him, okay, you want the Boo Birds to go away? You have to play better. That's the only way it's going to go away. So I think that from now to February, Randall's going to show better. At least I hope that's the case.
Yeah, he has all the motivation to play better at home now. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what he does with that motivation. All right. All right. All right. You know what? We talked about it enough. We've alluded to it a few times. But all you guys are aware of the news that's going on around Knicks Nation. All right. And we're about to talk about it right now. First, there's been news that's been reported by Shams. Shouts to my guy Shams. That the Knicks are looking to trade for Jerami Grant, and it's not just the Knicks who are in contention. It is the Knicks, Wizards, Blazers, and Lakers who are all pursuing Jerami Grant. Jerami Grant, you already know, who's a guy who was a 3-and-D guy for a couple of years. Well, the threes actually started coming on a little bit later. Transferred to Detroit, took a little bit less money so he can become the man. And now he is the man on a Detroit team who really hasn't, shown any signs of life the few years he's been there. Their timeline has since changed now that they have Cade and other guys on that team. And now he's going to be a free agent soon. It might be the time to move him, and the Knicks might be interested. Now, first things first, I've seen a lot of people going, well, that wouldn't work because Jerami Grant is a power forward. Yeah, but it's, he Jerami Grant averages 20.3 points per game, 41% from the field, 33% from three, 4.8 rebounds. Is 4.8 rebounds really a power forward?
Well, I'll say this. The only way Jerami Grant works is if the Knicks trade away Julius Randle, because Jerami Grant is basically a wing. He's not a stretch five, which I think a stretch five is what the Knicks would need ideally. He's not a stretch five. He's basically a wing. Right. And I don't think the Knicks need help when it comes to their wings. I think the Knicks are pretty solid on their wings, and at most he could be a stretch four, and the Knicks already have Julius Randle here, who's basically a stretch four.
But a wing is a three. A wing could be a 3 or a 2.
Yeah, a wing could be a 3 or a 2, but he rotates between power forward and small forward. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, at most, like, if you're gonna play small, he'd be a 4. But it's like you have Julius Randle here.
Nah.
So what sense does it make?
He would be a 3. Like, he's played 3 before he went to Detroit. Like, if they make a play for Jerami Grant, they would slide him at the 3, I would think, and maybe move RJ to 2 or Evan or whatever, and then it would be Kemba, RJ, Grant, Randle, whoever at center. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think in Detroit he plays the 4 though.
No, he plays the 4 in Detroit, but he's played small forward like in other places almost exclusively. So this is what I'm saying. Like, and the fact that he's switchable on defense, where he can play defense on the 3 and 2s and 4s, is why I could actually see Tom wanting him, considering how far we've fallen from grace defensively. Now recently, they've been saying the Knicks are better defensively, but Tom, like, he has a 7-foot wingspan. He's a 7-foot wingspan, and he's 6'8", so you can switch him all over the place, and that's something I think Tom would definitely want. I don't think he's exclusively a 4. I think people are looking at him as a 4 because of what he is in Detroit. But before that, he was playing a lot of 3.
Yeah, but I think the Knicks have a logjam at the wing though.
I mean, that's the part of the problem. The part of the problem is, who are we moving? Like, I feel like if that move has to be made, you would hope that maybe you're moving Fournier or maybe even they might try to move Grimes or Alec Burks or something of that nature. Like, it's going to be a young guy, right? I feel like if Jerami Grant is involved, Obi is gone. I feel like that's I feel like he would be the main piece. I feel like it would be Obi and a pick somewhere. And I don't know if they want to add somebody else to that, but I feel like it would have to be something like that. And then the Knicks would have to hope to move maybe Fournier or something in another deal. That's the way I would see it. But I can definitely see the Knicks going, you know what, I want to appease Tom Thibodeau, get a defensive guy here who's a 3-and-D guy for sure. Will our 3-point shooting suffer? Possibly, because he was a 3-and-D guy for sure. You already see his 3-point shooting numbers this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's shooting 33% from 3 this season. But a lot of that can be attributed to the increased workload, right? Because when he was a 3-and-D guy, he was a more efficient shooter. So you would hope that if he's like relegated to maybe like a number 2 role or something like that, or a 3 role, that number would go back up to when. But would he like that? Would he like not being the guy? Because he moved to Detroit to be the guy.
Yeah, but I think my issue is I'm not sure how Randle and Grant works. Like, I don't see a seamless fit right there. And to be honest about it, I like how RJ operates. I like how RJ operates at the 3. So I'm not saying RJ can't play the 2, but I like how he operates at the 3. So me personally, I wouldn't go for Jerami Grant, but yeah, I do agree that Thibs would like the fact that he's 6'8", 7-foot wingspan. He's a defender. He can switch onto multiple people and guard them. So from that aspect, I could definitely see Thibs wanting a guy like that on his team. It's just that with the guys currently on the Knicks roster, and knowing that, I don't know, me personally, I don't see Grant and Randle working really offensively, but who knows? I mean, I'd rather, like, if I'm to make a trade, I probably would consider Myles Turner over Jerami Grant, but that's me, though.
I see what you're saying. Hold on. We got a $10 super chat. Shout out to Emil Bomensor. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name too bad. He sends a $10 super chat. Says, speaking of Jerami Grant, I called in the show and said that Jerami Grant would be a good fit, but not for the contract he is on. I don't want him because he's not going to get the team any closer to winning. It's one of those things where the defense is going. I feel like the defense will be way better. I feel like when we're facing guys like Durant, when we're facing these athletic wings, he one-on-one, he's going to be able to defend those guys at another level that we don't have that yet. I know RJ wants to be that guy yet, but he's kind of shown flashes, right? So like I feel like that can work, but like what Ryan's been saying, the offense is really the part of the ball where you have the most concern because he as of right now he's a pretty decent mid-range shooter. 3-point shooting has dipped. But you know what? I personally believe that is a possibility with a lighter load that the 3-point shooting will go up, right? The other part of that is he might be a little bit maddening because, like Randle, he's a guy who's learning to be a star. So he's not always going to really pass when he's supposed to pass and shoot when he's supposed to shoot. Like if you're looking at what the Pistons like fans and stuff are saying, they feel like he needs to learn to pass the ball a little bit more. He doesn't pass the ball when he's supposed to, and like he goes one-on-one with like too much dribbling a little bit too many times and makes shots more difficult. He needs to learn how to make quicker decisions and only make 1 or 2 simple moves and get to the hole. Kind of like what we have with Randle. You know what I'm saying? He maybe not turning the ball over at a high clip like Randle is, but that's what those guys are kind of saying over there with Detroit. So overall, I'm not super against it, depending on who we move. Like I can see a scenario where it's working, but I also feel like shooting is the swing skill. Shooting is definitely the swing skill here. Because right now we have Evan Fournier. Like if Evan Fournier stays on the course he's staying on, maybe the shooting will get better. But also Grant's defense is gonna be way above Evan Fournier's no matter how he's. So, like, I know what it really depends on Kemba Walker at that point. Like if Kemba Walker can stay on the floor and help stretch the floor, if RJ Barrett can keep shooting at the clip he's shooting in at, then maybe everything can work out fine. But a lot of pieces have to kind of fall into place. But there's risk with everything. There's risk with every move.
Yeah, I mean, I like it from a defensive standpoint, but offensively, that's why I worry. It's the offensive side of the ball where I'm just like, exactly. I don't know.
Exactly. Like I wouldn't be super against it. Like I wouldn't be. I'd be like, okay, let's see. Like I can see a pathway to success, but I don't think it'll be like a home run. It'll be like our defense will get better, depending on if certain players stay on a certain trajectory, can work out for us, and then maybe we can defend certain players better in the league type of situation. But that's how I'm seeing that. Shout out to Ronnie Sandin who sends a $5 super chat. He says, "Why Grant, not Myles Turner?" And you heard Hawks are shopping Reddish. I definitely heard Hawks are shopping Reddish. If you're talking about a guy who can be a shooter on the cheap, I think Reddish might be a way to go too. I don't think he'll be that expensive because it's kind of like our situation, right?
Yeah.
Where Kevin Knox is out there, he gives you a game or two where he scores, but it's still not enough to really command a big bag. So I can see us giving like a pick away and getting Reddish and re-signing him and it working out for us.
Yeah, I mean, RJ Barrett will have his Duke running mate if
exactly
go after him.
exactly. It's just that we have to get off of somebody. Like we would have to move Evan Fournier somehow for that to work. Otherwise, it's gonna get crazy. Otherwise, because he doesn't want to be in the same situation over here like he was at the Hawks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, all these moves really depend on like what we give up. If we do go for Jerami Grant, I can definitely see us moving Obi for Grant. I can definitely see it if that's true, and it's shams. So there might be some kind of measure of truth there, and we also have to think about who we have, like who we're competing with, right? The Wizards. I feel like the Wizards have picks to compete. Do they have the same amount of picks that we have? I don't think so. But I feel like the Wizards have picks. The Lakers don't really have much, I don't think, to really offer as far as picks go.
No.
Which is what the Pistons have. So, you know what? Keep an eye on that Jerami Grant situation for real. And the Blazers are involved in this situation too. So, something to think about. Somebody say want to call in? If you get Cam, I'm calling in KOT. Cam is popular around Knicks Nation, man. Cam is popular around Knicks Nation. Something about somebody else no one's talking about. CJ McCollum, man. I'm still looking over there at CJ too. I'm not even gonna hold you, yo. I'm still looking.
Yeah,
got one eye. Go ahead. I got one eye on CJ.
Yeah, CJ McCollum would definitely be a solid pickup for the Knicks. Definitely, if they could get their hands on him.
Right.
The question is, who the Knicks would be giving up for CJ, but CJ would be a solid pickup.
Right. Oh yeah, the thing to mention about Jerami Grant too is he has a sprained thumb and he has to be reevaluated. I think at the end of the month. And the same thing with CJ McCollum. He's just coming back from injury, so I don't know if that's going to drive his price down. I don't know what goes into that type of injury where he had a collapsed lung and what it takes to come back from that.
Collapsed lung, yeah.
So I'm going up to CJ McCollum only because I already know the situation the Blazers are in right now. Those are the type of situations where you look to break up a team for picks and stuff, which is why I would keep one eye on them. Are they willing to pull that trigger? I'm not sure. But their type of situation is something I would definitely keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah.
Shoot, even the Cavs situation I will keep an eye on. Because
wait, who on the Cavs?
Listen, dog. First and foremost, I'm gunshots to Jay Ellis. Here's gunshots to me. Give me my props, damn it. Because remember when I was talking about Darius Garland?
Yeah, Darius Garland playing good, but they ain't giving up Garland. So I'm like, who you talking about in the Cavs?
I know they ain't giving enough Garland, but the Garland conversation wraps into this whole conversation, all right? Because Garland is out there balling right now, averaging double-digit assists and points like it's like nothing. The Cavs are rolling, right? And they're still playing well, even though Colin Sexton has been injured and is going to be injured for I'm not sure how long he's going to be injured. If that team can function at that high level without Colin Sexton, and Colin Sexton is going to be a free agent, I believe, next season, I would think that Colin Sexton would be a guy to look at. Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Are you there? Are you there, Ryan? I think we lost Ryan. Yeah, Ryan's frozen. So I think we lost Ryan, or maybe he'll be back in a second. That's why I'm saying I might keep an eye on Colin Sexton. He hasn't been in any trade rumors. I'm not sure what's gonna happen this offseason, this trade season, about a trade deadline, or if it would happen by like off season. But I definitely would keep an eye on Colin Sexton. I'm kind of surprised he wasn't moved in the summer. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm kind of surprised. And being how Kemba Walker is who he is, and we don't know how long he's gonna last, we're going to need a scoring guard at some point, I would feel like. And you know, we need to change this to. But next up, yeah, I gave myself the level 5, and I give myself the level 5 intuition. Yeah. The Sexton talk killed Ryan's connection.
Bruh.
Hilarious. But you know what? I'm just saying. It might be a shout out to Sweeney. Sweeney said this on Twitter. He felt like it would be a cheaper option than the dude from the Kings, who actually I really like his game, even though he's having a down year. I could see him having an up year later on. But he'll be a cheaper option at point guard, and he can actually shoot a 3. He would just need some mentoring because he's definitely not a finished product at all. Right? But next guy I want to talk about is Myles Turner. I'm hoping Ryan gets back. His whole computer probably just died just now. Give me a second. Hold on. Because Myles Turner is another one. It just seems like this rumor just about Myles Turner will not go away. He will not go away. So hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. So it's been rumored that the Mavericks and the Knicks are expressing interest in Myles Turner. Myles Turner has been linked to the Knicks in the summer. He's trained with Julius Randle, and we all seen what the Celtics did to us the last game when we didn't have a stretch 5, right? Because at this point, it seems like, Tibbs is refusing to go small. And the only way to really capitalize on the driving, to maximize on the capitalization of RJ and Randall driving at will, is to probably get a stretch 5, and Myles Turner is that guy. Now, the thing is, when we first mentioned Myles Turner, he was shooting like 40% from 3. He was having a career year from 3, shooting 40% from 3. He had a game where he had 40 points. I think 40 points and 10 rebounds. Since then, he significantly cooled off. Now he's shooting 35% from the field. Hold on. Let me double check these numbers. Hold on a second. Just to make sure. Because I believe his 3-point shooting has kind of regressed.
You talking about Sexton?
No. Now I'm talking about Myles Turner.
Okay, Myles Turner. Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about Myles Turner. So let me double check the Myles Turner stats real quick.
I have Myles Turner stats here. Let me see. Yeah, so you talking about his three-point percentage?
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, from last season, it has improved.
Okay.
Because last season he shot 33.5%. This season he's shooting 35.7%.
Okay, so now he's at 35.77 from three. Before it was when we first talked about Myles Turner, he was shooting at 40%. And now it's dropped. Now it's dropped significantly. So, here's the thing: is he still a better 3-point option than Mitch? Yes.
Well, clearly.
Anybody who can give you 40 points and something on offense at center is going to be helpful for these Knicks. And he's going to help out Randle and RJ significantly. I guess the thing is, what is he going to cost?
Yeah.
Now, if you're buying high and buying low, you might hope, okay, he has like a 4-game stretch now where he's not doing that much of anything. Right? I think he's scoring single digits now. He's not giving you the 40-point outburst anymore. And that could be him. That could be, trade. You know what it is, man. Trade rumors, trade season. When things are unstable sometimes, it gets in players' head. So that could be partially what's happening right here with him. But also, truth be told, that might be able to drive the price down. What have you done for me lately? 40%
Exactly.
shooting 3-point big versus 35% shooting big. That price might go down.
Yeah.
But once again, we already know what it is. I might be down for this trade depending on who you putting in. Right? I do feel like Mitchell Robinson would have to be involved in the trade. For sure. But if they're asking for Quickley, I'm hanging the phone up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and this might be a trade the Knicks have a chance at, because I feel like whenever a team announces that they're looking to trade somebody, or whenever the news comes out that someone's on the trading block, usually that means that it's not going to take as much to get that player than it normally would take. So I think, you have to keep that in mind as well. Maybe the Knicks don't have to give up a whole lot to bring Myles Turner here since the Pacers put him on the trading block anyway.
Right. I can see them being like a pick, like maybe Mitch and a pick, and maybe we can swing for like Burks if anything. But even just putting Burks into something like that would hurt for me. I'm not even gonna hold you. For me though, I wouldn't want to put Obi in a Myles Turner trade personally. I know some people would. I wouldn't want to do it, even though I just feel like at the end of the day, Myles is gonna be a role player. I still feel like Obi has star potential. So I feel like if I'm moving Obi, it's going to be for somebody who can get some buckets, personally. That's just me personally. Like, I might be slightly more inclined to give him up in a Jerami Grant trade than a Myles Turner trade. Slightly more inclined, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, with Turner... Well, first and foremost, with Turner and Grant, those are two players where I'm not giving up no type of major assets for either one of those players. It has to be a trade where it's a light trade, whether it's like a pick and a player or something of that nature. Because to me, those two players, are pieces. Those are pieces that you bring in, and either you can bring in this player and you can help flip it for an even better player in the future, or those guys are just going to help you towards building a good team.
Right.
So for players like that, I'm not giving up no type of crazy assets. It has to be something light. If the Pacers come to me crazy, talking about, we want a pick, we want Obi, we want another young player, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna be like, no, because this is not a guy that's going to transform the Knicks into a contender or something like that out of the blue. It's just a piece that's going to help the Knicks get better. So it's definitely going to depend on what the Pacers are asking for. If I pull the trigger on Myles Turner, if it's nothing too crazy, I pull the trigger. If they're asking for a bunch of assets in return, then I have to be like, no.
Right, I agree with you there. And also, I'm really curious to see what these type of players want to demand on the open market, because both of these guys are kind of similar in the fact that they both want to prove that they can do more. Like, I actually heard somebody say that Myles Turner feels like he can do more, and he doesn't want to just be seen in his light as just a guy who's like a complimentary piece. So I'm wondering, like, long term, how that fits with like how much he feels like he wants to be paid, or where he feel like he wants to end up. Because he's definitely said that in Indiana, and Jerami Grant the same thing. And right now, Jerami Grant, he's making what, 20,000 a season.
20 mil, you mean?
I mean 20 million. I'm sorry, 20. You see my peon, little poor broke thousandaire brain saying 20,000, right? 20 million a season as a free agent. I'm wondering what type of money is he commanding next season. Like, what does he want? Because truth be told, like, he's averaging 20 points a game, 4.8 rebounds. Two-way player, yes. Is he like max worthy? I don't think so.
I'm not maxing him.
I'm not maxing. This is like he's almost worth around what Randle is worth to me, and I'm not sure. Like, I know some people want Grant over Randle. He has better defense, for sure. But he, like, weirdly, he's not as good as a playmaker as Randle is, which is.
No, I mean, if you're going to be real about it, if you take Jerami Grant's best and Randle's best, Randle's the better player. If we're going to be real honest about it,
right? And I'm not sure people want to ready for that conversation. I'm not sure because people hate Randle at the moment, and he sucked. He sucked so bad, but like he's a power forward that averages 4 rebounds a game. I mean, I'm sorry, 5. And there's potential. He has potential, but it's not a clear cut. He's better, which is what I'm saying. All right, man. So Myles Turner, I would do the trade, but it really depends on who's involved. I'm not having some crazy trade package. Also, I kind of like the way Mitch has been playing better recently. The thing with Mitch, I want him to start to string more games together. Like, I feel like I really wanted him to shine versus the Celtics, and he really didn't put forth. He didn't give us what the Celtics big man was giving us, and I wanted that from him.
Yeah.
So I want to see that more from Mitch, and if he's able to give that some more from him, then I'm more inclined to be like a hard no. But hopefully he gets it together, and if he's here for next season, he catches his stride and he shows us a little bit more. All right. Reppin' Old School says a point power forward though. Are you talking about Randle, or are you talking about Jerami Grant?
I'm really not 100% sure. Reppin' Old School, you're gonna have to clarify it in the chat. Who you talking about, Randle, or you talking about Grant?
All right, but while waiting for his answer, salute to the chat. Salute to Picks for Timmy, Reppin' Old School, Buttercup Scotch, and everybody else who's rocking with the KOT show. All right. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button, and also hit the hashtag news. Shout you out. All right. Randle. He says Randle's.
Oh, it's about Randle.
Okay. Yeah. Point forward. Air quotes.
Yeah. When Randle's playing like All-Star Randle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not right now though. Not right now.
Might be more of a, It's funny because his turnovers are crazy. Like. Man, Grant does not turn the ball over like Randle does. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But Randle seems to have more passing. But it's weird to say passing potential than Randle. I don't even know if I really believe that, saying that out loud. He's had more assists. I'll just say that. All right. All right. That is the show. I think I'm gonna cap the show right there. Next game. What's the next game we have coming up?
Let's see.
Next game we have is Dallas next. I think we have Dallas on Wednesday.
Yeah, Mavericks. Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, Mavericks.
Yeah. Dallas on. And hold on,
Andy. Oh boy, you know how many former Knicks are on that squad?
Man, listen. Anytime we can embarrass KP the Snake, I want to take it. I think Luka's back though. I think Luka just got back.
Yeah, Luka's back, but that's not just it though. They got Bullock, they got Frank. Them dudes are gonna want to do something to us.
Oh yeah, revenge on their mind for sure. JT Reddick says, "Does Grant have the same usage rate though?"
Oh, we're gonna have to definitely check that out.
Wait, hold on. I can figure it out. I think I actually have it pulled up. Hold on. I got you, sir. You know I got cleaning the glass on speed dial. Hold on. Jerami Grant. I think his usage rate is pretty high. Okay, 94% usage rate. Assist percentage is not bad, actually. Assist percentage is 84%. He just doesn't. He averages 2.4 assists a game. So he doesn't turn the ball over. Turnover percentage. He's in the 79th percentile when it comes to turnover percentage, which is pretty good. You know what it is? It's just when I'm reading from Pistons fans and Pistons people who break down his game, is they feel like he doesn't pass they feel like he misses passes. But the numbers, I mean, 84% assistant percentage isn't bad. So
yeah,
especially for a big. So take with that information what you will. All right. All right. Cool. All right. That is our show. I'm gonna celebrate, man. We got 10K. I'm gonna link some stuff and start linking to KLT YouTube and linking to directly. I'm gonna celebrate my 10K on IG, man. And also
exactly the giveaway snapback.
That's right. You heard you, boy. Listen, man. It's giveaway time. If you want to get a free KLT snapback, definitely head to our Instagram at Nick of Time Show. All right, Instagram.com/Nick of Time Show. Click that link, and we'll be giving away a snapback. Your color wave of choice: black and white, blue and orange. All right, definitely head to there and celebrate, and hopefully you win. And I'm going to give directions on what to do and how to win and things of that nature, so you can get your snapback. All right, and that's gonna be tomorrow. So look up for the snapback post tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. That is our show. My guy, Ryan G. Where can they find you, sir?
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is chillin'.
Sir G is chillin'.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN. You can also find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT. And your boy Rodney in the chat. Yo, now that I think about it, Dallas could field a 5 on the court out of former Knicks players.
Yeah, man.
Because they got fact. KP, Hardaway Jr.
That's a fact.
Frank.
That's a fact.
They got Bullock, and now they have Burks as well, Trey Burks. So it's like they could put a 5 out there that's all former Knicks.
They squad up over there, all former Knicks, man, for sure. They can do it. They definitely can do it. It's the Dallas Knicks over there. We got to beat our former selves. Got to beat our former selves. I wonder if Kemba might come back too. I know he's been closer to coming back. We'll see if he'll be back on the Knicks squad. All right. But also, you already know, man. You already know where to find us, man. Find us on Instagram at the Nick of Time. Instagram.com/Nick of Time Show. You can also find us on Twitter at the KOT Show. And you can also find our blog at thenicoftimeshow.com. And you can purchase the snapbacks if you want to win it. You just want to get one, just get yours, man. Go to nicoftimeshow.com/catalog to get yours. All right. Alrighty then. That is our show. Hopefully Roy we hear the next one. He played hooky today. Hopefully he'll be back the next one. But that is our show. And as always,
shout out the World Wide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here, all right? That is our show. We are out of here.
Peace.